Today I wanted to talk about some of the tips I have for potential or existing landlords that have furnished rentals. Furnished rentals are different than unfurnished rentals in the fact that the expectation setting is higher, yet I find a lot of the times landlords and tenants don't have clear expectations or understandings of how to treat the furniture and the appliances that come with the unit. So in this video, I'm going to talk about a few tips that will help landlords, prepare specifically when the tenant moves out, it's security deposit time. If you don't know me, my name is Sasha Struthers. I'm an attorney in Los Angeles. I do a lot of landlord-tenant law, and you can follow me here and on the million other social media things and on LinkedIn where I post articles. So first thing, when you have furnished rental, it sets your unit apart from other units or rentals, houses. It's predominantly houses or like student housing that gets furnished. And the appeal to it is very obvious. I can take my suitcase of clothes and move into this place and then take my suitcase of clothes and move out. More or less, that's kind of how people live. Students really like it. People that are here on temporary visas really like it. People who live in houses, that they like it. They, especially if they have kids, they can come, rent a place, it's furnished. They don't have to worry about the moving, the back and forth, and it provides a lot of peace of mind. Furnished rentals also tend to rent for more money. They tend to be in, either areas where there's colleges, big universities, or in higher end areas like Beverly Hills. So with that being said, I've had clients who rent furnished property and then, it comes to security deposit time and they go, hey, all this stuff, there's stuff wrong with it. I'm going to deduct from the security deposit, and then you hit a security deposit dispute. A few things that you can do is, to begin with, one, take photos of all the furniture and all the appliances inside and out to have an idea of what they look like and the condition they were in. So if you have, a couch and it was like in mint condition and then the tenant moves out and dirty and it needs professional cleaning, that is something that you can, count for in the security deposit deductions. Same thing with a fridge. If it cosmetically looked okay and there's a bunch of dings on it, that can be deducted from the security deposit. Another thing is taking inventory of the cost of all these things. So I remember one client, he had rented a furnished house and pretty much everything came from Restoration Hardware. So he actually screenshotted all of the stuff and he had the receipts and then, he had photos. So it was like a file. I was very impressed. It was like, here are the exterior house cushions for like the patio. And then here's all of them on the patio, on the couch. And here is the Restoration Hardware, screenshot of what the thing was and how much it cost. And then here was the receipt for how much I paid. So when the tenant moved out, one of the cushions went missing. So he goes, okay, he deducted, I don't know what Restoration Hardware charges for that. Probably not cheap. He deducted it from the security deposit. So a few things like that happened. But he had before photos and after photos. He took an inventory and he goes, if you find me my pillow, I won't deduct it. They didn't find the pillow. So that really helped him with his argument because they had really good documentation. Here was the couch when I leased it with all the stuff. Then, here it is where it's missing. Or here, it was dirty, so he had to professionally clean a bunch of things because they were just really dirty. So that was accounted for because it was leased in the condition that it wasn't extremely dirty and it came back extremely dirty. Having the receipts and the screenshots of all that stuff really helped him because without it, you're kind of just guessing. Like, it was a white pillow. Well, white pillow from Target is going to be different than a white pillow from Restoration Hardware. So if you have, here's what I paid, here's the receipt, here's the item, then you have a better chance of getting your fare returned back from the security deposit or, having a legitimate argument for deducting the security deposit. And then additionally, and the last thing that I'll say is you should give manuals to the appliances to tenants so that in the manual, there's usually maintenance or things that tenants should probably do to ensure the longevity of the appliance. That should be, provided if you have it. If you don't have them, you misplace the actual manual, you can usually download those online. You just look up the product code and you can get them online and they're pretty easy. And keep that all organized in a file. I use Dropbox. Your computer itself, you could just store files on there. If you have like a Mac, you have iCloud, it might be worth paying a little bit more to have the iCloud storage. If you have Google, you have Google Drive. I mean, there's a ton of ways now to save files relatively cheap. So you should really invest in keeping things very organized. You can organize them maybe by room. You can organize them, by appliance, things like that. So you can have an idea. Keep the photos in there, the receipts in there, screenshots of the actual product on the website, and then, the manuals for all the appliances. That will really help alleviate the unknown of it. So you should make it very clear at the outset when you're leasing a furnished rental, this is what's expected of you. Take before photos. Here's the condition of everything. And I expect when you vacate, the condition of all this will be more or less the same. There'll be slight wear and tear, but it is expected that these things be taken care of. When it's presented like that, documented like that, it sets a tone for the remainder of the lease to the tenant that, you value your stuff and that they're expected to also appreciate and respect it. That's true of really anything in life, like setting expectations, whether it's with your friend or your tenant or your kids, that is the foundation for successful communication. But I have seen a lot of security deposit disputes, and the more you can itemize something, and you might have something that's super rare and antique and hard to itemize, but the more you can inventory and keep track of, the better your argument will be. Should it ever get to that point where you have to present that argument. It's definitely little things like this that I don't know if anyone finds value in this video, but if you do, or there's other videos that you would find value in talking about, predominantly about real estate, by all means, feel free to leave those in the comments. I'll have an idea of what kind of content people find helpful. Definitely like and subscribe if this is helpful, and join my newsletter. Every week I send out a newsletter, what I think is helpful information, and it's completely free. So other than that, thank you.